So how good will the new Iceco dual zone APL 35 liter refrigerator function for you on your camping and overlanding trips? Let's find out. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Overland Trails Adventures. On today's video, we're going to be testing all things power with the APL35 again, Iceco's newest medium range refrigerator. You remember on the previous tests, we tested the cool down speed, was about 30 minutes in the back of the truck from about 98 degrees in the back of the truck, so that was a pretty impressive test. The other test we did was the noise level with it running on max in the truck, which it came out to about 44 decibels. Really respectable for what it is. So the test today is going to run about 12 hours, and we're going to be testing the power consumption and the amount of wattage it takes to cool it down to the regular temperature. So we'll be running those tests, and the gauges we'll be using is this power gauge here, which will tell me the wattage used and how long it takes. This laser temperature finder, which will tell me the temperature of the outside of the box. This gauge here, which will tell me the indoor and outdoor temperature, inside the truck and outside the truck. This will be able to give us a good, real live testing situation and a lot of good information so you can understand how best this refrigerator will work for you in the field. Let's go. All right, here we go for the 12-hour test. Box current outside temperature on the aluminum is 96.6. Inside the box is running about 85. Outside of the truck, inside the truck, it's running about almost 86 degrees. Outside of the truck is about 86, 87 degrees right now. The temperature set inside the box is going to be 45 on the cool side, 15 on the freezer side. I'm going to start it up now and document the current startup temperature of inside. So let's do it. You also see the wattage meter here. This is a 110 meter. That's the way I can do this test easily with this particular gauge. But it's going to start tracking how much wattage it's using. I'm going to come out and check it and see what the wattage is for it to get to the temperature that we set it at. And then for 12 hours, how many watts does it actually use? Current inside temperature is 66. And it's set on max, so it's going to do a max cool. I'm going to shut the door. This is about 90 degrees right now. So we'll see how it goes. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, we are looking at currently 41 degrees on the cool side, 14 degrees on the freezer side. It is 87 degrees outdoors, 94 degrees inside this truck. Ouch. And then we've currently used 49 kilowatts so far on the startup, so it cooled down faster than it did on the last test, and it's good to go so far. We'll check back in a few hours. It is about midnight here at the house in the driveway testing. I'm gonna look at the meters here and see what we got after about 12 hours of running the refrigerator at 41 degrees cooling and 14 degrees in the freezer section, see how much amperage it's used. All right, let's take a look here. Looks like we spent about 0.341 kilowatts per hour in about 12 hours. Temperature is holding strong at 41 and 14 degrees. And let's see the temperature here. Currently 84, almost 80, it's 84.4 in the truck, 81 degrees outside. And the temperature of the box still shows 95 degrees. So this sucker has been working solid for 12 hours and sipped energy, so I'm pretty happy that I can run this on like a Jackery 500 for 2 days or so. So let's take a look at the results, adding everything up. Okay, well that was a fun test. It gave me a lot of good information about how the refrigerator is going to perform in my daily use on the road, camping or whatever, in my situation. Disclaimer. My particular test here was indicative of the current conditions of the temperature outside, inside the truck, how much sun was getting hit on the vehicle, no circulation in the backside of my seat, sitting in the driveway. And so all these things kind of play into how the refrigerator performed, what affected it, And I didn't go out and open the door very much. You know, I wanted it to be kind of a full closed kind of the test. And so there was no air circulating. That's kind of a big factor in a lot of these things because they, you know, need air to circulate. But that's the way I run. That's the way we do our refrigerators. They sit in the back seat. We go to camp. We pop up the tent or whatever. And, you know, that's how it goes. Your tests may be different. Your results will be different in the field at, you know, wherever you're at, your style of vehicle, whether you're carrying it in the back of your truck, whether you've got it in your camper van, you know, whatever you're doing, your results will be different. This is just indicative of my situation. Now the disclaimer's out of the way. Let's get down to brass tacks. It was a 12-hour test, like I said, in the back of my truck, which you saw in the video. Current starting temperature inside the refrigerator was around 66 degrees because it had been sitting in my house. Inside the truck was 85.8. Now this was at noon, so around 12:15 in the afternoon. High temperature of the day got up to around 95. And so this test did run from, you know, 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. at night. And so after the sun went down, things cooled off a little bit. So it was a little bit different results, you know, as, you know, no sun versus sun. Starting settings on the refrigerator was 45 degrees on the cool side, 15 degrees on the refrigerator side. So the way I normally run stuff, I don't want things to get crazy cold or frozen. And so when I kicked off the test, and at the 12-hour mark, the outside temperature was 81 degrees. Inside temperature in the truck was 84.4. It didn't go down very much at all. That's a closed environment. That's the reason why I do these type of tests, to see how it's going to perform for me and how I do my camping situation and manage my equipment. The power consumption kind of surprised me. It was less than I expected. So for the 12 hours in the closed environment like that, it did 300.341 kilowatt hours worth of power, which equals out to 341 watts of power. Divide that by the number of hours, came out to around 28.41 watts used per hour. Now, I've seen this go as high in other refrigerators as 30 to 40, so it really varies, you know. Obviously, again, conditions vary, but this is very respectable. This makes me want to take this out more so than some of the other refrigerators I've had, because they're a little bit older, they're a little bit bigger, they could consume more energy than maybe I want. When I'm running lean and mean overlanding, I like to have a most efficient system as I can. And so with the aluminum refrigerator, aluminum inside and out, it helps to dissipate the heat a little bit better than, let's say, plastic would. And the seal keeps everything in better. So there's a couple of factors that help this to perform at this level. Of course, you know, the C-cup micro compressor really helps out because it doesn't have to work as hard the way it's designed. But those are the test results. Again, these test results will be different for you. I encourage you, if you get one or go out and test your refrigerator like this, get you a power volt meter, plug it in. I did that off of 120 volts because I just didn't have a 12 volt power meter tester. So this will give you the amount of power that it runs. You can run it for 24 hours in all your situations. I strongly recommend, don't do it in your house. Don't do it in a controlled environment, because that's not going to tell you much about how it's going to perform and when you're actually using it. In the field, at the campsite, on the road, Utah, Kansas, wherever you're going to be at, you know, Tennessee, you want to make sure that you're getting true life test power results whenever you're doing this, so you can then manage your power and build out enough power as you need to make this work. I'll be running this off a Jackery 500. I have no problem with this running for days in the back seat off that Jackery in the new truck. So I will be building out a power system in the back seat, probably with a DC to DC charger, at least a 100 amp hour battery under the back seat. So then I can power this refrigerator the way I want to for easy access to drinks and stuff like that. Or, you know, if the other situation, if you're taking this out to your kid's soccer game, like I've talked about before, you just take a little battery pack, or take the Iceco battery pack and take that, set it there with it, run it, keep the drinks cold for the kids, take it, throw it in the back of your truck and go home. Easy peasy. So these are the results. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. If you have any advice on how to do these tests better, I don't do these tests often. I take a lot of cues from Hobotech. Smart guy, does great testing. He also did a great test on this in his environment on a 24-hour test. Go check out his video. if you missed the original review of this video, I'll go ahead and put it up here in this top corner here for you can go ahead and click on that and watch the original review of this. In the meantime, we'll see y'all on the trails.